everybody, welcome back. Steven here, Northwest Small Batch Brewing. It is time for Brew Talk. I gotta be honest with you. It's been a few weeks since I've recorded a Brew Talk because this one took me some time. I had to do some research and really think about it. And I've been wanting to do this video for a while. And that is a video about wood and beer. Wood and beer. Not wood and beer, but wood and beer. Anyway, that is today's topic. I have done some work with wood. Man, it's such a huge topic. I'll not be able to get to the details of it all in one video, but I'm going to try to touch on some stuff here. So, first of all, let's just get into it. What kind of wood should you use, right? That's the first question. Well, to go up a level, I will say this. You don't want to just go like to your hardware store and buy wood. You don't want to get something that's treated. It might have chemicals in it. A lot of the time, it's the wood that you get at your hardware store is meant for outdoor use and repels water. It might have resin in it. So you don't want to use that. That's not something you could consume, right? You need wood from a food grade source, so to speak. So getting it online, obviously, if you can collect it naturally, you could do that. But you do have to let it season, right? If you get it naturally, you still have to let it season the wood. You can't just take raw green wood and use that. You can use, believe it or not, this is something I had to look into because I wasn't sure. You can use the wood that's used for smoking, like barbecue smoking. Because that wood is generally safe for food, or it wouldn't be able to use it with smoking your meats and whatnot. So that is acceptable to use that as your wood for aging. Let's start with cleaning your wood. I'm going to get to different types of wood and things like that briefly here. I'm trying to run through this quickly so I don't make a super long video. But cleaning wise, depends on whether you're using a barrel or a stave. If you're using a barrel, which probably most of us are not using at the homebrew level, you'd want to really clean it. So they talk about something called a triple rinse in 170 degree water. That's 170 degrees Fahrenheit. This is hot enough to basically pasteurize, or in this case, sanitize your barrel. So you want to rinse it out. You don't have to fill the whole barrel that full, but you need enough where you can really swish it around and rinse it out, as they say, 3 times. You could heat up your water in your brew kettle, and that would probably be the easiest way to move that hot water to the barrel to clean the barrel. I can tell you this: don't use chemicals. Wood is porous. It can absorb. Don't use chemicals. Chemicals in wood, not good. Yeah, it rhymes. A little reminder for you that way. If you're using cubes, right, or spirals or that kind of stuff, there's different ways. Some people will steam them in a microwave. I'm not a big fan of that. I prefer just using a pot of water, bringing that pot of water up to 170 degrees, and then putting the wood in there for about 5 minutes, just to get it sanitized and clean. Spirals, I'm trying to see how I can explain this to you. I'm going to come back to this. Like I said, there's so much. You'd think, talking about wood be a simple video, but it's really not. Before I get into the different types of, woods, spiral types, varieties, let's talk about toasting your wood. Usually you can get your wood already toasted, right? When you get it. Sorry, I'm playing with this coffee cup because it's so hot I can't pick it up. You can get your wood pre-toasted, right? The other option is if you get untoasted wood, you can toast it yourself. How do you toast it? How long do you toast it? How dark do you like it get? Okay, well, here's what I found doing the research to give you a general idea. You're going to do it in the oven. So this is after you soak your wood to clean it and whatnot. You're going to put it in the oven. And I apologize. I'll put up the centigrade up on the, for the European and basically the non-American folks. But in the oven, 200 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit is going to give you kind of an oaky, sort of spicy flavor. Okay, I believe you usually tend to toast wood for a couple hours. It's not a short process. I'm gonna try this coffee. Oh, so good. And this is some coffee a friend of mine brought from Mexico. Anyway, let's raise the temperature. So if you want to toast your wood between 360, well, go up to, let's say 300 to 360 Fahrenheit, it's going to get sweeter. You get a sweeter, sometimes pencil shaving flavor out of the wood. Again, could be up to a couple hours that you toasted at that. Let's keep going. 360 up to 480 Fahrenheit is going to give you more of that vanilla almond flavor. Now, I'm purposely not getting into all the different things that are in wood that create these flavors because, it's, like I said, it would be such a long video. I just can't get it all in one video. And then if you go up to about 500 degrees Fahrenheit, you're going to get a very acrid, you know, that's probably hotter than you want, but there you go. All right. So there are different, I'm not going to go into the different types of wood. There's not that many, right? There's French oak, American oak, European oak. I mean, I know I said French, but there is a differentiation. And then there's lots of other kinds of wood and barrels that are used as far as what tree they come from. You can do your research there. I will say if you're sticking with oak, American oak is the strongest flavored one, whereas French oak is not as strong and flavorful as, and there's reasons why you may want to have a lighter flavor. All right, let's talk about the different ways they cut these woods for homebrewers. Right, you've got wood chips, just little tiny wood chips. And I'll try to put pictures up as I talk about this. We'll see. We got wood cubes, right? Just a regular cube. Then you have spirals. You do have staves, the actual wood staves. And then you have something called powdered wood. I know. I've never used it, but it is a thing. All right, let's talk about this real quick. For most of these, you're still going to prepare them the same way. You're going to rinse them in really hot water, usually around 170 degrees Fahrenheit, for like 5 minutes. Like I said, some people prefer to steam them in the microwave. Whatever your choice is, that's generally how you're going to prepare these. The wood staves, you don't really, they're longer and harder, you know, so you may have to just sanitize those with like Star San or something. And obviously the powdered wood, there's no preparation, right? It's powder. Here's the other thing. After you've rinsed them, sanitized them, and toasted them, now you need to soak them. Now, I'm not talking about soaking them in your beer yet. Right now, it's just wood, right? Generally speaking, beer on its own isn't going to, I mean, we all know it has to be a pretty high ABV beer, right? I want to say like the higher the better. But if you can do 10% or higher, that's going to be your best bet when it comes to using wood with beer. Secondly, soaking the wood in a spirit is going to really help you. You choose the spirit. It could be, it could just be vodka, or it could be a whiskey or a type of whiskey. Usually that's what most people use because that's what those liquors are already aging in. Up to you. But the point is, when you soak it, I'm going to give you something that I didn't find on the internet. This comes from the whiskey world and whatnot. Generally, you want the highest ABV you can get. So 65% or above ABV is great for soaking your wood. If you pick a lower ABV, it's not going to work as well. Like if you pick a 40% spirit, it will not work your wood as well as 65% or above. Okay, that being said, you're going to soak your wood. It just depends on which variety I listed as to how long you're going to do it. For example, if you're using the chips, there's not much. There's a lot of them with not much surface area, and so those ones you can soak in a spirit up to 6 months, and it's up to you, 1 to 6 months in the spirit before you use those wood chips. Cubes, you would soak a little bit less. You can still do up to 6 months, but remember, there's more surface area now on the cube. Also, the cube is one of the thicker types of cuts of wood, and it takes longer for the spirit to penetrate to the center of that wood. Spirals. They say there's no need to actually soak spirals. Or if you do, it doesn't have to be for very long. Because of the shape of them and everything, and they're thin, it's up to you. But with the research I've found said you don't need to really soak them very long in a spirit. A stave, I didn't find any information about actually soaking a stave in a spirit. I think because staves are bigger, it would take so much spirit, it's going to get really expensive if you're going to do it that way. So I have a feeling that staves, they don't really say to soak it for that reason. And obviously, the powdered wood, you're not going to soak. All right. Let's talk about how long do you leave it in the beer. All right. If you're using wood chips, the average we say is up to a week. Now, it sounds crazy, but remember, those wood chips are tiny. They don't impart a lot of wood impact because they're tiny, and they are quickly, saturated with the beer and everything. So, of all of them, the wood chips are going to give you the least probably amount of flavor from the wood. So there's no point in leaving them in there for that long. How much do you use? About a half an ounce of wood chips per 5-gallon batch of beer is what they say. All right, cubes. The cubes, you can actually leave cubes in your beer for a few months, up to a year. So cubes you can leave a long time because, like I said, they're thicker. It takes longer for the beer to penetrate to the center of that oak in the middle of that cube. So how many cubes do you use? Usually it's 1 to 2 ounces for every 5 gallons of beer. Spirals. You can leave in your beer somewhere between 1 and 3 weeks. If you want to just make it easy to remember, between a week and a month for a spiral. Spirals, again, they're thin. You wouldn't think of it, but they're pretty thin. So it penetrates a lot of it, you get a lot more surface area too from the spirals. Generally speaking, you use 1 spiral per 5 gallons of beer. And the staves, all right, the wooden staves. Those ones you can leave in your beer 6 months or longer. Those, again, take longer for the beer to penetrate. And again, just like the spiral, I mean, it's hard to say how many staves you're going to use because you still have to break the staves down into sizes that fit into the beer. So I couldn't find a lot of details on how long you leave that in or how much you would use. But I would think 1 stave per 5 gallons would do it. And then the powdered, I have never used it, but obviously you just want to follow the directions that are on the powdered wood, right? And again, I've never used it, but I guess the benefit of it is it's instant. You don't have to let it age. I will say this, and then I'm going to cut this short because we're already going over a bit here, but wood takes time. Just like I've always said that time is the 5th ingredient in beer that people always forget. Wood takes time. You can't fast track it. So I'm really honestly on the fence about the powdered wood. I don't think that that's going to be a great option because you're not getting any time with it, right? It's just like instant flavor, but no time. What a lot of people I think forget about when they're using wood in beer is that generally speaking, you don't just usually put wood in for like a week and then take it out and serve, right? You're not going to get much wood impact when you're only letting it sit in there for a week, sometimes even a month, right? Here's my suggestion, my personal opinion, what I've done. Use wood on beer that you're going to age. You get 5 gallons of beer. I suggest the cubes. The cubes are easy to work with. You can leave them in for up to a year, for a long time. So what I suggest is if you really want to try this and you have a container for it, like even a corny keg you can seal and set aside, make your beer. It's probably going to be something like an imperial stout, or maybe it's going to be a barley wine or something. Once it's done and finished, transfer it, to another to get it off the yeast, and then add your soaked wood cubes that are soaked in whatever you soak them in into the beer, and then set it aside, hopefully somewhere that's not too hot, not too cold, and then just leave it for a year. Not kidding, leave it for a year. and then come back to it, and it's ready to bottle, serve, or whatever. It takes time. It takes time. Wood is not something that happens overnight, or even usually in a week or two. Although if you're gonna try to fast track it, and I don't recommend it, that's when you can switch to things like spirals and chips that can be used more quickly. But again, there is just no substitute for time. The same thing has been found in making whiskey. You cannot substitute time. They have tried, and it just never works. Anyway, I hope you found it interesting. Sorry I went a little long on this one, but I'll be back next week with another video. And until then, well, coffee cheers.